All right, guys, I got to get the camera a distance from me here to do this one so you can see what I got going on. So I did the video on the Pact Act, and a bunch of y'all, apparently there's a lot more vapors in the community than I thought there were. So a few of you have asked in the past, and a bunch of you asked today, for me to show you how to make your own. Okay, so I figured, okay, I'll do it, because I got to make some for me anyway, because my bottle of juice is about empty. So I figured I'll do this one. Now, you all had asked for recipes on how to do this and everything, and I'll put it down here in the description. But the link for a fabulous web page, I don't even know if they've got a channel, is called e-liquid-recipes.com. There are literally tens of thousands of recipes in there for what to make. Ones that people have created on their own, ones that are clones of stuff that you buy in the store, whatever it would be. I mean, I've got some up there that I use. Just made my own page, if you will. It's all private, but it's recipes that I like, and that way I can keep my recipes at hand for what I want. Because while Mrs. P smokes the same thing or vapes the same thing all the time, which is a clone of mother's milk, I have a tendency to change up depending on my mood. Sometimes I want like a cherry tobacco. Sometimes I want something that's a nut cream or a fruit or, cheesecake or something like that. So I kind of wanted to show you, y'all were asking how to do this, and I want to show you how easy this is. All right. So I'm just going to kind of go through what I've got over here. Over here, these two boxes are a bunch of 2-ounce bottles of all sorts of different flavors. Okay. And depending on where you get them, each one of these 2-ounce bottles is probably about $4. All right. Now, the catch is, depending on what your recipe is, you're going to probably make 20, 30 bottles of juice out of each one of these things, somewhere thereabouts. Again, and you'll see when I make it what I'm talking about. The difference depends on how much you need to use in each recipe. Okay. Next thing, and mind you this, all the ones that I buy are PG, propylene glycol based, because that enhances the propylene glycol. Enhances the flavor. Okay. So then the mixture that you're going to use with it is vegetable glycerin. And that's basically your carrier, if you will, for all the flavors. Okay. Because, this is, I don't know if you can see it in there, but it's very liquidy and everything like that. Very, very fluid. Okay. Where the vegetable glycerin's a lot thicker. Okay. Of course, you're going to need a bottle to mix them in. All right. And this is just one I saved from when I bought juice at the store one time. A lot of times when one of these runs out empty, I just use this to mix it in and save myself some money that way. You're going to need yourself a little scale that measures in grams. I think I got this one off of eBay or Amazon a few years back, or what I think it cost me about $8, something like that. It was not expensive. The key, again, provided you want to add it, you don't have to, you can do this with no nicotine, is nicotine. And this was what I was talking about, the Pact Act. Now this one is, I believe, 150 milliliters, or maybe it's 250, I'm not sure. All right, like I said, but this is how the nicotine comes in packages. And then I just put it into an old one of these, so it's easier for me to distribute into my juices. Now, the one thing I'm going to tell you to be very careful about is nicotine is poisonous. Okay, not smoking it or anything like that, but there is a such thing as nicotine poisoning. All right, so when you're using liquid nicotine, you want to be very careful not to get it on your hands or anything like that, because it will seep into your skin and you can get nicotine poisoning from it. So when you're doing this, you can wear rubber gloves. Or after you make everything, I would advise washing your hands very well with soap when you're done. Okay. So to give you an idea how easy this is, and I'm going to make a recipe here that is a clone of Blue Voodoo, if you will. It's basically a raspberry peach, right? So I'm just going to put my little bottle on my scale, and I'm going to tear it out, all right? And now I use for us, and these, again, in this recipe, on e-liquid recipes here, you can change it for how much nicotine you want or whatever. I use a 6% nicotine of 150 milliliter. All right, so in that respect for me, I want to put in 3.42 grams of nicotine into this bottle. And here we go, 3.43, so I'm slightly over. So not terrible, but you want to keep it pretty accurate here. All right, so the next thing I need is 5.5 grams of peach. Okay, so I have my juicy peach there. This is the brand. This one is the Flavor Apprentice. Okay, there's the same name by different companies will taste different. So when you're looking at these recipes, make sure you buy the flavor from the, if it's a Flavor Apprentice, if it's, I don't know, who are some of the other ones here? Flavor West. What else do I have on here? A lot of stuff I have is TFA, Flavor West. Yeah, most everything I seem to have is either TFA or Flavor West. Okay, but needless to say, so I need 5.5 grams of this. So we will add that up, and this will get me to 9. Drip, 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 drip. Perfect. Okay. Then I need 2 3/4 grams of sweet raspberry. And I'm going to tear this one out so I don't have to measure it do the math in my head. Okay, 2 3/4 grams of that. And that's literally the ingredients for this. Now, I mean, there's some juices that have a laundry list of, 8, 10, 12 different things are. Okay, I'm personally not that super excited. I don't need you need 1/10 of a gram of this or whatever. Forget it. Okay, I want the ones that are relatively simple and taste good. Okay, so now I've got my flavoring and my nicotine in there. It's literally the last step. Quiet, guys. Okay, after the dogs... Hang on. After the dog's barking, okay, the last step is to put my vegetable glycerin in the container. Don't fill it all the way to the top because obviously you're still going to want to put in my case, the eyedropper back in. Literally, that's it. Okay, now what I will do is shake this up real quick, and I have a tendency to like to age them by putting them in the microwave for about 10 seconds. That thins out the juice real quick, lets it mix up, or lets the vegetable glycerin thin out to let everything work a whole lot better for when you're shaking it up. So let me go do that, and I will be back in 15 seconds. All right, so now it's not warm or anything, it's just enough to thin everything out. Shake it up real good. I'm not going to watch you shake it for a minute, but you'll see that I wind up with a bunch of little bubbles in it, everything. That's what you want. But literally, that's how easy this is, okay? And that bottle of juice, between flavoring, nicotine, VG, everything like that, costs me about $1, okay? And that bottle of juice will last me about a week. So as opposed to when you're going to the store, and I don't know, what are they now? 8, 10, 12 bucks for a bottle of juice. That'll tell you how much the companies are making selling this stuff, because this literally cost me about $1. So y'all asked, I thought I'd show you real quick just how easy it is to make your own juice. The hard part is now is going to be finding the nicotine. The rest of the stuff, not a problem. But that's how you do it. Pretty simple. So I thought I'd show you all that real quick. Have a good one. Pinball out.